Bigotry. I would like to see it, well, reduced. I don't think it'll ever go away, but it seems to have increased over the last year and a half.
World peace, maybe?
No, like the social gap, like the rich and the poor, like lessen the gap. It's too divided.
Right, what drew me out, I am not an activist, or at least I haven't been up until now. What drew me out is this self-made humanitarian crisis. I would put all my efforts into stopping it.
Oh my gosh, that's so hard. I'm the president, so it's such an important decision, but you have to give me more time. I think that nobody named Trump should be allowed to run for office ever again in this country.
I would probably go with universal health care because I think everything else will follow suit. If you have a meaningful existence where you don't have to worry about what could happen to me tomorrow and how would I pay for that from a healthcare perspective, I think you'll be able to achieve a lot more. And then people will free up their own money that they're probably paying right now to pay for education, investments in their own selves or their families, and it'll be a trickle-down effect. You know how they talk about trickle-down economy? I think this is the trickle-down effect we need to aim for, to give a fulfilling, healthy life for all our citizens and everybody who's in this country, and then everything else will follow suit.
Well, you know, there's the whole realm of what's possible for the president to change. I mean, the president has very extensive powers of powers within foreign relations sphere, that he can actually call the shots on many things, and I think we have to make it clear that we participate in the community of nations that we have been participating in. We shouldn't be allowed to shirk those people, and my concern would be to be part of that. I think that's the way to make the world a safer place, and so that's what I would change.
First thing I would remove is bipartisan parties. I think what's such a huge problem in America is the bipartisan. How can you say, I don't think there is anyone that is a full Democrat or a full Republican? There can't be. I'm sure there are Republicans who don't completely agree with everything that the Republicans do. And I'm sure there are Democrats who don't completely agree with what the Democrats do. So I don't believe that there should be bipartisan. What happens, the world will only progress further and be able to sustain itself if and only if there is a thing called cooperation. It is only with cooperation can we be united and make the world a better place. When you make a bipartisan political party system that allows for competition, that allows for enemies, that allows for negative competition, and I don't agree with that at all. And that's why I believe that the bipartisan system should be abolished. I believe that you should vote or elect a president or anyone else that gets elected on their personal views and their personal abilities and their personal history. It cannot be on what party. I should not have to go to a polling booth and choose a party to vote for. No, I want to vote for the person. What is this person capable of? What does this person believe in? Who will this person be good for? That's what I want.
Roe versus Wade was the Supreme Court ruling, I believe, again, back in 1973, that made it legal and totally unpunishable by law for a expecting mother to abort her child. And again, that opens up well, basically, yeah, that's the answer. That's Roe versus Wade. It was the abortion ruling, made abortion legal. Controversial as it is, And again, we have to look at the legality of things. There's only so much the president can do. Much depends on Congress. Much depends on the Supreme Court. But to give a quick dummy answer to that, if I could, with a magic wand as president, change things, I think it would be Roe versus Wade. I think we would need to definitely bring back an unborn child's right to live, right to be born, right to have a shot at life. I think that ruling back in '73, I think, could be wrong, brought a lot of curses and a lot of problems. We've had millions and millions of babies aborted. That's sort of a quiet genocide here in the United States. And I think that would have to change, Roe versus Wade.
In my case, I would say right now, voter ID. I think there's a lot of voter fraud out there, and I think that, I don't think there's anything wrong with it, where somebody comes, shows their ID, a picture ID, to show that they're voting, and they go in and vote. I can't see why there's a problem out there with that.
Everyone, peace on earth, and everyone's can live for who they are.
We're able to love each other as they would love themselves, and be just, instead of seeing people as like a color, or see people as a status or a stereotype, that they would just see them simply as a human. That everyone sees each other as a human, and they all, at the end of the day, we all bleed the same, we all breathe the same, we all have the same anatomy for the most part. You know, why? And then let's just be acknowledging of that, and just be understanding of that, and just have more compassion towards one another. And if anything, I think that if everyone had that same mentality, if everyone said, if it wasn't all about me and it was more about everyone, I think that would be that would trickle down to everyone, all these other problems being fixed.
One, I would give us a more liberal, more open immigration policy.
For me, it would just be for everyone to be equal and have the same rights.
It would be the way you guys view human rights, and the way that you guys view each other in terms of racism. Like the way we see it, yeah. But racism is technically like viewed down upon. You guys have got the Westboro Baptist Church. You guys have got the Ku Klux Klan. People, they're allowed to do protests. In the UK, that's not allowed.
You're allowed to do protests?
Not well. You are allowed to do protests, but not racially abusive.
Puede que los Estados Unidos volvieran a ser un país más abierto a gente de fuera, y bueno, el tema de pistolas y tal, siento que hay ciertas cosas ilegales y otras que son legales en Estados Unidos que deberían de ser al inverso, nada más.
Impeach Trump for no reason at all.
Stricter restrictions on accessibility to guns. To guns. Yeah, I think there's too much violence in this country, and drugs.
Okay, well look, I'm not going to be made president, because the president presides over the system, and you either do what the system dictates be done, or you get iced. And I don't want to do either of those. So
Trump.
Same. Trump.
Perfect. You, ma'am?
Yes! I have a list. I wouldn't be able to begin right here.
Trump is at the top. He's at the top.
I would change the racism and the bigotry and the hatred that reared its head when Trump became president. So that would be a big thing.
I would change the rhetoric. I would change the tone. I would like the rest of the world to see us as very accepting. I think that we ought to be leading the world with kindness, and then from there, you know, let our policies follow. But I think a hug and an embrace first, you know, is the best thing that we can do. Show the world that we can be a better people, rather than just, you know, the bigger people.
Cults coming out of nowhere. So I would ban any cult or religion that's not compatible with the U.S. Constitution. You could do whatever you want, but over here you have to be American, and you can't change America. So if your religion is commanding you to come here and change whatever we have, that's a conquest in my eyes. So that all would be banned. Like, you're not allowed to come here and switch things around because we are great already.
I think there is a lot of secrecy around, politics and government issues. So I'll try to change that. Get rid of all that, crypticism and secrecy around it. Try getting to full transparency on these matters.
What would I change about America for one day? Go ahead and say. I'm not sure. A lot of things.
I would go back to the Founding Fathers' Constitution and the Declaration of Independence and the Bill of Rights, and I would go along the things that we know from history that brought us to America and the reasons why our Founding Fathers came here and what they were fleeing from in order to make a great nation where we are all given freedoms, and sometimes people want to take away those freedoms, but we know that they work, and we have over 207, how many years do we have? 240 years of knowing that this is the right thing to do and the right way for our country to be led.
I'd like to see less diversion in political views, less of an emotional view of the world.
Well, I don't know. Right now, the guns. Prohibit, forbidden the guns.
Promote true free thinking. I think that politicians abuse the word freedom a lot. Who said freedom was good in the first place? Maybe it is good, maybe it's not. I think that just asking yourself the different things that's possible, maybe you are presented freedom and that's not real freedom. People here just work, to get the positive emotions. You gotta just die at a corporate job. That's just my opinion.
If I was made president in a day, if I could change one thing, it would be to make me president of the United States forever.